Welcome, everybody, to Rebels React to the entire filmography of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Week 6. This is going to be Raw Deal versus Predator. My name's Jordan.
Maya.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're going week by week, doing two movies, putting them against each other, picking a winner, and then we'll have like a final bracket where we do like a March Madness of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies and pick the ultimate winner. And we've watched some bangers so far. What's your favorite so far, guys? Which one is your favorite?
Run me through them all. Do a recap of everything we've watched.
I already know
so
mine.
far.
Can I just say it?
No.
Yes. Okay. No. Hercules in New York. Pumping Iron. The Villain. Jane Mansfield's Story. Conan the Barbarian. Conan the Destroyer. Terminator. Red Sonja. Commando.
What's your favorite?
Terminator.
I think I missed one. Did I miss one?
No.
Seems like you missed one.
Yeah, I did miss one. What's the one with him in the gym?
No, you did. You got that one. Pumping Iron.
Nope. Sorry, the other one in the gym.
That's the documentary.
Because that was the documentary, and then the one we watched after
one
that.
With Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, I can't think of what it's called. Here,
Stay Hungry.
Stay Hungry.
So that's. I was like, I didn't count an even number of movies.
What's your favorite so far? Are we including this week or up until this week?
Not including this week. I'm going to also exclude Terminator since I had seen that, and obviously that's kind of a superior movie to all of them.
I'm going
to say Pumping Iron. I just enjoyed that for some reason.
Yeah, I did too. That's a good one.
This isn't what I was expecting, but I've everything we've watched so far. I think my favorite movie has been Commando.
Okay.
Which I never would have expected. But it's the
even above Terminator. Or are you also excluding Terminator?
I'm not a huge Terminator fan.
Okay.
I don't have bad things to say about it, but I'm definitely looking forward more to Terminator 2.
Sure.
And I think it's just like that's the one like I saw when I was younger kind of a thing. Terminator was great. That's really not saying anything bad to it, but
yeah.
Commando has been continually popping up in my head. Like I think about that movie like now and then.
It's a richer movie than, some of the other ones. It's got, characters and it's got some dialogue, and there's some cool action and stuff. Like there's, it's not a whole lot there, but it's more than some of these other crappy movies that we've seen.
Yeah. And I loved Ray Dawn Chong.
Yes.
Yeah, she was great.
So
Maya, what was your favorite?
Terminator.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I knew that.
I refuse to change. Excluding Terminator?
I'm more curious about what my next one would be.
Well,
but
we'll get into the whole rank. I was just kind of what's shining through so far, and it seems to be sort of a wide array of movies for us. So that's good.
Weirdly,
there's something for all of us.
I think because I want to give a shout out to the Jane Mansfield story. That's been the biggest unexpected one. Also watched it in the worst quality.
Yeah.
And I would say that's another one that I've like thought about. His performance specifically too.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Well, let's get into two new ones. We are going to start by talking about Raw Deal from 1986, directed by John Irvin, who never really directed anything else that I've ever heard of. He's directed quite a bit of stuff, but no movies that I don't think I've ever heard of. So, Raw Deal is his claim to fame. We open with 4 armed men in the woods ambushing a house where a witness is being patrolled and guarded. They kill everyone in the house, including the witness, with ease. Yes, Ethan.
Can we clarify, is that 4 armed men or 4 armed men?
We don't know how many men there are, but they are 4 armed.
Okay.
I think that's what it looked like to me. I couldn't tell, but they seemed to have 4 arms, and there are countless numbers of them.
Okay.
Did you see that as well?
Yes, I do remember that from the beginning.
Okay. Good. We jump to the opening credits where Arnold is in a I typed this incorrectly. Let me start that again.
Oh, it's okay. I can jump in here. So I think the last movie we watched was Commando,
Yes.
as I just mentioned, and that one really stood out for the amount of murder it had.
Yes.
It was a jump up. So what I noted down for this movie to start out was a lot more murder, and then also murder, and then also more murder on top of that.
There's no way there's more murder than Commando, though.
Oh yeah, the opening
No.
scene in this movie. Yeah, the
Yeah, like
opening
5
scene
people died.
The opening scene in Commando is
Wait,
like,
that ending alone.
hold on.
He
stop
murdered
it.
an entire army at the end of Commando.
Yeah, but that's the ending. I'm talking about the beginning being shocking of like, oh my god, they shot that guy outside his house, and
Yeah,
he,
okay.
he killed that guy. He killed like 4 people. This
Yeah.
movie starts and they kill 50 people, like gruesomely. I was immediately like, oh god, like it definitely starts on a way higher, like just we're gonna just kill as many people as we can.
And
I
it
was
takes
not ready for that.
Quite a while to actually figure out why and what's going on and what's
Yeah.
the reasoning behind this. They don't get to the point very quickly. They do eventually, and I appreciate that, but it's like, okay, why did these poor guys just get slaughtered?
Why
Anyways.
is this happening?
Yeah.
Like,
It's so sudden. You don't even know why. I didn't even know who I should be rooting for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they all look the same. There's no
Yeah.
distinction. Well, except for the guys with 4 arms, you know that they're bad. But
Yeah.
No one's
besides
happy.
that,
They're just there.
we jump to the opening credits where Arnold in a Jeep chases a police officer on a motorcycle through some backwoods to some lighthearted, upbeat music. He captures him with a wall of flames and drops him off at the police station. It turns out Arnold is the sheriff, and the so-called motorcycle cop is an imposter.
Love it.
This was a fun, weird, but fun scene.
Yeah.
Again, didn't know what was going on until they're
Not
just
at
like, oh yeah, hey sheriff, how's it going? Oh, okay. That was really oddly reversed, but it was fun. I enjoyed the scene.
Oh, yeah. Immediately I was like, it set a good tone for the movie. It's really
Yeah.
like whenever Arnold shows up, you can tell what the movie's going to be like.
Yeah.
And his energy here was, I loved his energy to start it off.
I like his sort of just like small town, top down on the car sort of vibe. Like he's the cool sheriff. I'm sure everyone loves him. At home, Arnold's wife gives us some backstory. Arnold used to be in the FBI. We later find out he was forced out after beating a man nearly to death, who he found had kidnapped and murdered a small girl. Arnold was forced to find a job as a sheriff in a small town. They have now been there for 5 years, and Arnold's wife, Amy, is very frustrated. Poor guy,
Yeah.
just trying to do his job.
If it's okay with you, I pulled out a few, and I'm doing this kind of in every movie, a few quotes.
Yeah. Oh, please.
That stick out. So
Yeah.
I have this down as the first great quote from this movie. And Maya always helps me. She's like, "You got that's one to go down." And this one was, "You should not drink and bake." I was just like, and you can give some context as to why he said that.
I want to know what the backstory is on that. Like, what has she done in the past when she's been drinking and baking? Like, clearly she has some history there.
Yeah, it seems to be a regular occurrence. It's so sad. They had no chemistry, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They were not.
That's probably why we never see her again.
I was
Couple
gonna
at
say
all.
we never see her again.
No.
He gets with a new girl. It seems like never mind. It's too sad.
What? No, I guess she does. The wife does sort of serve a purpose, but
We know she exists.
we have to know she exists for
We-
certain reasons later, but we don't have to see her anymore. Yeah, I
No.
agree. No chemistry. I was like, I mean, I don't blame you for being into Arnold, but really, you two? Like,
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Everybody else so far, I've not felt like that, but with them, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't be. Like, I totally understand he can, but just a gigantic Austrian guy being the sheriff of this like small southern town
I
just
love
seems weird to me.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
No, it's
It's-
not.
Because if you're no, but if you're that guy, you can do whatever you want. So it's just kind of like if you're the if you're a super strong guy from Austria and you go to some small town in the middle of nowhere, I'm sure they're like, yes, please be our sheriff. Like, we
Yeah.
need you.
We need some
If-
muscle in this town, yeah.
Yeah.
Still weird.
That being said, I liked it, so.
Yeah.
A man from the FBI named Harry calls Arnold, or rather Mark, and arranges a meeting with him. We learn that Harry's son was one of the men guarding the witness that we saw at the beginning of the movie, and Harry wants revenge on the men who killed him. They are the leaders of a crime family in Chicago, the Petrovitas. Harry is contracting Mark on his own dime to infiltrate the family and destroy it, and assure Mark he can get back into the FBI for completing this job.
Yeah. I'm down. This was when I was like, okay, this is a mob movie. I would assume that's what I was calling it while I was watching it.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if I trusted Harry though. Like, he seemed a little, obviously he's, angry and frustrated at the death of his son, but like he seemed sort of sketch to me, even from the beginning. Harry
was the dad, right?
Yes.
The cop. So
like rogue cop guy.
I trusted him because I remember, or I didn't. So when they're investigating the scene and he's talking about how like all these years in and I never had a scratch on me, and that was when I trusted him. After I heard that, like to me that was like genuine. And I didn't put two and two together right away that it was his son, I think, until Arnold. But I was like, oh, that's why he said that. Like, he put his son wanted to come into this business because he was in it, and he was like, I did my whole career and nothing happened to me, and he gets killed like this.
Yeah.
So I trusted him.
Yeah. Okay.
Just based on that, because I specifically remember that, and like.
Well, the funny thing is, I think I had read the plot of them, or like started reading the plot, but then I stopped because I didn't want to spoil anything. Yeah. And I thought I saw that like he gets put into a situation where he gets kind of like screwed over, or he's like kind of a pawn in a scheme, which he sort of is here. But I was thinking that someone was gonna like betray him. So I was thinking, like, oh, is it Harry?
Yeah, that would definitely.
Yeah. But it was fine. It kind of it made it a little bit more even of a mystery the whole time.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Mark then breaks into a nearby oil refinery, and for the second time in this movie, lights a puddle of oil on the ground on fire. This time with the flare causing the entire facility to explode. He rides away on a stashed motorcycle, effectively killing off Mark Kaminsky. And there's going to be a lot of names in this movie that you're going to have to keep track of. Most of them are Italian, and it's really confusing, but we'll try to keep them straight. Mark heads to Chicago and causes a brawl in a bar in search of Lemansky, the main man in charge of the assassination. Much like Commando, Arnold hijacks a tow truck and drives it through the front of a bar, where before he got a bulldozer or something.
And as Maya pointed out, what did you say when he drove through the building? There's not a scratch on the truck.
Oh yeah.
Well, because it's made of like foam and plywood. So
is that what it was? But yeah,
if it's a set, then
that whole scene was so bizarre. Where he just walked across the street and he was like, "Oh, hello, everyone. I'm just gonna get in this truck."
Why?
And then I think like they saw him across the street and they just all kind of stood there, right?
Well, yeah.
Like it was just really bad reactions there, and he just slowly drove it through and then just kept going.
Again, I mean, talk about being able to do whatever you want. Like, first of all, his real persona is dead, so like no one really knows who he is, and he kind of has free reign to go and like infiltrate this family. He's like, I'm just gonna drive a tow truck. I'm gonna play real life GTA here for a little bit because I can.
Love it.
No one's gonna touch me. So okay, here's where it gets tricky. Luigi Petrovita fires Lemansky, who in turn tries to have Lemansky killed by a firing squad inside of a passing by bus, which again was really strange. Like, he had only just gotten fired, but then literally 5 seconds later, this bus passes by with 100 people in it with machine guns. Like, how did you organize that so quickly? What, Ethan? You look like you have something to say.
I thought I put a note. Oh, yeah, this is my next note. Okay, I didn't find it. When they drive by,
if
they had just stopped for a second,
Oh yeah, he don't.
1 second. They would have killed. They would have gotten it done. They didn't seem like they
killed
were in
everybody.
any danger.
They only killed one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just. Okay, go. We gotta go. We gotta go.
You know what they also could have done? They could have even like driven over some of them, saved some bullets. Just aim towards the people with the bus.
They
Worst-
didn't know how to GTA back then.
Yes, they didn't. They didn't know the right buttons.
Only Arnold. He was the world pro GTA player at the time.
Seriously.
Yeah. So I say here they fail to kill Petrovita, but kill one of his men. Mark steals Lemonsky drive. Oh, this is kind of a different scene. Mark steals Lemonsky's driver's car as well as his girlfriend's jewelry. At a high roller club, Mark requests a meeting with Roca, Petrovita's right-hand man. He is granted a meeting with him by presenting himself as the pain in Lemonsky's ass.
That Almond Roca?
Almond Roca? Was that his name? Roca?
You said Roca, and I know of Almond Roca.
I do too.
So that's why
I think that's what it was. Mark, now known as Joseph P. Brenner, wants to work for Roca as a hitman, a position left vacant after the drive-by bus shooting, but one that a man named Max Keller doesn't think needs to be filled. Roca is interested, but does not offer him a job yet. Joseph leaves $1,000 worth of chips with a woman at a poker table.
And
lots of names.
What was his full name again?
Joseph P. Brenner.
What's the P stand for?
Penis?
Pussy.
Oh, I was joking. I forgot about that.
That was the next quote. Oh my god, I was dying.
What was the context of that? Did someone ask him what the P stands for?
Yeah, and
no.
and that's what he said. I love it. His delivery was just impeccable.
It's good, yeah.
I completely forgot about. Why did I not write that down? That's so good.
Because that's my job.
I love it. That's oh my god. Arnold /Mark /Joseph runs like a loser away from the building and is followed by multiple men who he jumps in an alleyway. A policeman questions Joseph on the mugging, and after seeing his ID, asks him what the P in his name stands for. I did write it down, and it's pussy.
So I did it at the wrong point. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's see. A raid on one of Petrovita's drug houses finds 8 of his men and women arrested and $150 million lost.
Yeah,
he wants his money and product back immediately, so Roca hires Joseph temporarily. The woman that Joseph gave chips to the other night lures him to her place where the two get drunk on multiple bottles of champagne. While Joseph sleeps, the woman reads all of his personal information to someone over the phone. Pretending to be asleep, Joseph hears her doing so.
This was cool. I was impressed.
They legitimately, they drank a lot. Like, they were pretty wasted. And I believe Arnold passed out, but he's still doing his job. Like, he's always alert, always aware.
I don't think he passed out.
Well, I know, but like,
I think he can drink 35 bottles of champagne.
Oh my god.
Like, I think it's like he has like that degree of tolerance. So it was like 5 bottles. I can put this down and I'll still wake up and hear whatever.
There's an old story.
Sleeping pills. Didn't they do sleeping pills too?
Did they?
I think so.
Did they do pills?
I think they took sleeping pills because it was like she needed to be 100% sure, and he knew that. And so.
Oh, did she? Yeah, she might. I think she might have drugged him. I think you're right. Yeah. There's an old story about Andre the Giant that
related to this movie.
6 hours. He drank 119 beers.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it's possible.
That guy was unreal. All his numbers are ridiculous.
How many times do you think he had to go pee during that? Like, do you think he broke the seal at like 10 and then just...
I was going to say at least 10 times you'd have to pee. Yeah, I just don't know. His bladder would be bigger, but I don't know how much.
Regardless of what you're drinking, how do you even just drink that much in 6 hours? That just sounds awful. Even if it's the most delicious, perfect substance known to man.
I'm assuming he did it to get the number, right?
I don't know. Possibly. Probably.
He also ate 43 pizzas.
When? In a day?
While he was drinking the beer. No, I was joking.
That sounds disgusting. I hate that.
You remember Andre the Giant, right? Mm-hmm. From one of your favorite movies.
Princess Bride.
Uh-huh.
We see Lamonsky, who can't hit a golf ball out of a sand trap to save his life, tell his men he wants Joseph taken care of. Joseph meets Petrovita at one of his family parties. Joseph rubs Petrovita the wrong way and doesn't earn himself any favor with the family. We learn that Max Keller is the one who tasked the woman with investigating Joseph. So there's like this kind of douchebag guy who works for the main head mob guy, and he doesn't trust Arnold to begin with, and he's been sort of taking upon himself to investigate him and kind of get him dealt with. And
yep.
It's hard to do with Arnold. He's a hard man to lose. The three men, I think, from the alleyway earlier jump Joseph and the woman in a dress shop. My favorite line in this whole movie is a complete throwaway where two women are running around in the madness and run into each other, and one just yells, "Out of my way, bitch." Joseph and the woman escape.
I don't
remember this either.
It's so pointless. Like, they're not main characters at all. They're in it for 5 seconds, but they're just running and bump in, and one's like, "Out of my way, bitch." It's like,
I do remember that.
wow.
I want to go back and watch that.
Calm down.
Bad.
It was ridiculous.
It was so funny. Yeah, who were those the same guys in the alleyway that jumped them?
I don't know.
I assume so.
I lost track
Yeah.
of who was who.
It's too many guys in this movie, honestly, and a lot of the names sound very the same. Petrovita wants a plan to retrieve his money and drugs from the police station ASAP. Roka doesn't believe it's a smart idea, but Joseph suggests using a bomb threat to get the cops out of the building. A vending machine stalker places a bomb in the soda machine in plain sight, and seconds later a small bomb goes off inside the station. And that was just to kind of create a scare of bomb threats. Like, that wasn't actually to get the stuff. It was just to sort of like raise awareness that this could actually be possible when they make the call later, right?
Yeah, it was just to they didn't want to hurt anybody. It was just like
To kind of validate it.
rather than a bomb threat. That's not real. A bomb threat. Right. Oh, that one did just go off.
There was a bombing yesterday.
We have to evacuate it.
Yeah. That's smart. That's actually really clever. Like, they
that's
could have just, in a movie this sort of cheesy, like, they could have just called it in. But I thought that's actually a pretty good attention to detail.
I said that exact same thing. I was like, that's a really good plan. Like, legitimately good plan. Believable. And it's like, he has inside knowledge from a history there. So it's like, he knows what the protocols are going to be, how they're going to respond, that like almost guaranteed that it's going to work.
Yeah.
And also the mob boss guy loved it. I think like that was arguably the best part. That was where he suggested that, and he got like, "Oh yeah, give me my money. I'll blow some police stations up." Like, and that helped get Arnold I think already like get some good favor in with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that they were able to think of that plan, but they weren't able to just stop when they were doing the drive-by.
Right.
Well,
just stop.
It is different people.
Different people.
It's different people?
Different people.
All right, well.
The people in the drive-by was Lemansky.
That was unexplainably stupid, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's no excuse for that.
Well, there you go. I guess that's what they're...
And it was like, then they just left. It's like, he's there. You can see him. You didn't do
They're
the
like,
job.
"Well, we missed on the first attempt, so let's not try again. Let's just keep on going."
Yeah, that was... I will always think of that scene.
Max grows increasingly more jealous of Joseph and the woman hanging out. At dinner, Joseph admits to her that he is married, and has been for a long time after she confesses she likes him. She angrily storms away, probably to join the amazing dancers in the background. There was some terrible dancing going on during dinner at this restaurant. I had to just couldn't ignore that.
I briefly remember that. It was just a very bizarre scene overall.
Yeah. I like the restaurant though. It seems like it's like really high up in a building and like the 100th floor.
Yeah.
I would eat there, except for the dancers. Joseph catches Harry up on everything that has happened so far. He is worried that things are becoming too tumultuous, but Harry does not offer any help. Joseph is, however, becoming jealous of his new lifestyle. Wait. Yes, because he's not Joseph, but he's like, "I wish I was Joseph.
Yeah.
This is nice. I have nice suits, endless money to throw around, beautiful women." He's like, "I just have this weird backwoods sheriff gig. I kind of miss my old FBI lifestyle."
For sure. He's loving it.
Yeah.
So, A bomb threat is called in at the station with Petrovita's drugs and money. The station calls bomb disposal, who conveniently happen to be Petrovita's or Lemansky's men, already en route to the location. So this
They timed it.
this was like some Ocean's 11
Yeah,
stuff.
they timed it really well, and I believe it. I like during the scene. I think the way they pulled it off was really well, because it's like, you call in a bomb threat. You know, everybody that, you know, I worked in an office. I've done evacuations. You're not thinking over the details when you're in that kind of a situation. You have a goal. You are focused. If you see a cop car, if you see a bomb, they're there to help. And I think the real bomb people would never have gotten there that fast anyways, but they tapped the line, so they were doing all of the communication anyways.
Right. So yeah, they go in, they're like bagging up the money and the drugs, and they're pretending to defuse a bomb. Did no one go down and look at where this bomb was, or did they just call bomb squad and say, go find it, there's a bomb? Did they say like...
No, when you get a bomb threat, it's everybody. The protocol is everybody out of the building, and it's for the bomb squad to go in and find even where it is. They don't know where it is.
Yeah, that sucks. That's crazy.
You don't wait to confirm if it's true, because then it blows up and people are dead.
Right. I guess
this is why it was the perfect plan. Like it was. It was.
Did they wonder how they got a bomb into the vault of the bank?
You figure that out later. Yeah. It wasn't the bank, it was the police station.
Or the police station, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
They didn't even know where the bomb was in the police station. Once they went in, nobody saw where they went.
Right. This seems... I mean, obviously safety is number one importance, but like, feels like you could just keep doing this over and over again at multiple places. Like, hey, there's a bomb, get out, let me run into your vault. Okay, we got it. Bye.
But they don't even know that they went in the vault.
I know. That's the problem.
But they're gonna find that out after. Like,
and then they're gone.
It's not happening again.
But it could. They could just keep doing this at like.
No, but I think if they called in another bomb threat, they would realize it was not real.
Go to the next city and do it.
Yeah, then in that theory, you could do that. I mean, this is how people start crime sprees: is they start in one place and they move on, and then eventually you've hit 13 states and 100 places, and you are on the top of the most wanted list. Now everybody's out.
Yeah,
they did
true.
One go. But you're 100% right. Yeah, they kept going. They could, especially in the 80s. Like,
there's probably tons of drugs and money in these.
And it was just easier to get away with stuff.
Yeah,
there wasn't all the tracking and
less
all the
security.
Technology that we have today.
Yeah.
So.
Meanwhile, Joseph and Keller follow Lemansky, and attempt to run him off the road. In the middle of a high-speed chase, shootouts, Lemansky clumsily sits in the back middle of the seat, not taking cover a single time. Finally, Lemansky's car crashes into an oil rig and explodes. Is it?
It was a bulletproof car.
Seemed like the windows were getting shot out pretty easily.
It was a bulletproof car, and you know how we knew that? It kept zooming in where it wrote bulletproof car.
Did it? I didn't see that.
And I'm like,
where?
Well, I guess they should have done that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was this movie. They kept zooming in, and it was like bulletproof car. And I was like, I mean, we get it. They've said that it's bulletproof. We see that it's bulletproof. But then they rolled their windows down to shoot out.
I think that's more what I'm talking about. Yeah, because the windows are down, so like you don't think it's bulletproof, and he's just standing in the middle with his head completely exposed to any of the windshields, but he didn't get shot.
This chase started really well. I thought a lot of the corners were great, and like a lot of the angles were good, and it felt like a good car chase until they got to the end when it was like, dude, where are you going? You're driving into the worst place that you bought. It's like, oh, I'm on the edge of the water. Oh my God, let's keep going over here. It's like, just stop the car.
Right.
Go the other way. Like, you're putting yourself in way too much danger.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they explode violently into an oil rig. So
because they had nowhere else to go.
He should fire his driver, I think.
He did fire his driver.
Keller learns that Joseph is an imposter from an old friend who had put the real Joseph Brenner away years ago. Meanwhile, Marvin Baxter, the police chief who ruined Joseph's career and promised Harry that he would bring Petrovita to justice, turns out to be working with Petrovita directly. He sells Harry out, telling of his unofficial plan that he's been making to take out Petrovita, but offers to have Harry killed to clear Petrovita. Keller suggests that Joseph should be the one to kill Harry. So, yeah, this scummy police guy who's trying to solve the murder of Harry's son is working with the crime family, and then Joseph has to go kill this police guy. Not a good situation. The unnamed woman.
It's a great situation. That's a win-win. He already doesn't like this guy.
He does know him. Oh, of course he does. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you're right.
It definitely complicates things.
Yeah, it's just an added wrinkle when things are already getting a little bit sketchy. I say here, the unnamed woman. Do we ever get her name? What was her name? Does she ever introduce herself? She's just the woman. Like,
yeah, I couldn't tell you a name. I was unsure even who she was during the movie. I felt like I've seen multiple women and girlfriends were mentioned, and I'm like, I can't keep track of which girl is which.
In IMDb, she is listed as Monique with a Q. Monique. But I don't remember them ever saying that. We get a very Commando-esque scene of Joseph greasing up with duffel bags full of guns and ammo. Joseph, or should I once again call him Mark, with a belt full of bullets, a bag full of weapons, and a very Terminator-looking leather jacket, sets out to finish the job Harry asked him to do. He heads to a place called the Gravel Pit. Yes.
We missed a part.
Did we?
Yeah, the attempted assassination on Harry. At the cemetery. Because you're setting up the last scene.
How did we miss that?
So right before this, they go to the cemetery because
holy crap! Of course we did. Yeah,
they get a hint that
I know what I did wrong.
A certain guy's involved, and so he goes with the other two guys, and I knew who was at the grave. I mean, it's not fair. I'm watching the movie, but I thought for sure Arnold knew what was about to happen, and they literally went to the last second. And then he was like, "Oh, I know who you are." And then he gets shot, and I'm like, "Oh my god, he's gonna kill him!" Like, remember this whole scene in the cemetery? And then obviously Arnold murders the two guys. He manages to get them.
This is why I was saying it was complicated earlier, because Joseph was tasked to kill Harry. He doesn't want to kill Harry.
No, and he didn't know that's who he was tasked to kill.
Yeah.
True. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and this was truly the complicated part, because it was like, that's the guy who even got you here in the first place, and now you situation you have to kill him. But he's laying there dying, and yeah.
While all this is going on, some poor guy falls into a grave at a nearby funeral, just trips and falls straight into the hole.
Because it's happening right over there. Traumatic scene.
Oh yeah,
if you're those people.
And then thankfully Monique, the unnamed woman, followed them there and gets Joseph out safely. Perfect. I did have that written down. I just accidentally checked it off too soon. Then we get him, suiting up, getting all his guns and stuff, and he drives to a place called the Gravel Pit, which is a front for Petrovita's operations. Yes. Before
we get to the Gravel Pit, I had two notes here. So there was one quote, and I'm not sure exactly where this fell, but he was like, "To do what an old friend asked me to do. Knock him dead." I just love all of these, really.
Arnold is the king of the one-liners.
Yes. These they're simple, but his delivery just gives them a little bit more flavor.
They're getting better, because in Commando is terrible.
No.
What?
They're lessons that stick. He will be back.
Oh, that is fantastic. Yeah, he really is, huh?
Yeah, he really is. Wisdom. Don't drink and bake.
Yeah. Don't drink. It's genius.
So I love that.
Stick. One other note before he takes off, after he gets his look, as can be seen on the TV here. Love the look too. I pointed out because there's a point where there's a mirror, and he looks in the mirror, and I wrote down next gen ray tracing. Because it was such an intentional shot of there's the mirror, and he's yeah, I'm in the mirror or something. And I'm like, they were trying to show off some new reflections. I just thought that was funny.
So, some tricky camera angles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he goes to the gravel pit, which is a giant
Gravel pit.
It's a quarry. It's a quarry, right? Yeah. It's a front for Petrovita's operations, and he drives through easily, taking out as many of the guards as possible, some of which fall into rock-crushing machines. Mark crashes into a massive bulldozer, and his car is scooped up with the bucket. The car is smashed between the bulldozer and a giant jump truck just after Mark jumps out.
Through this part.
But this is when we break it down now. I'm giving you the scene. This is when we break it down. This is how we've been doing it.
I couldn't get ahead of myself because I can't remember the name of the song, but when he gets in the car and he puts the music on, what song was it? And it
no
was,
idea.
It was an iconic song. I hate that I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
But the music is pumping and he is rocking and rolling and it crash and it just ends so abruptly as he gets squished in the bulldozer, and then the guy just stays there, right? As the other bulldozer giant, I wrote it down as Tonka trucks because they're just giant Tonka trucks.
Yeah,
Tonka trucks,
dude. Those giant ones scare me so bad.
Yeah, because they're huge.
Enormous.
They're like weirdly proportioned.
Yes. Like when you look at where the person actually is, you're like, this isn't right. Like, we shouldn't be able to make things this big that can move like that. It's the same as the thing that moves the space shuttle. Like that thing freaks me out too. Yeah. It's a platform that big that like rolls.
How about an oil rig out in the ocean? That thing literally is attached to the ground.
Yeah. Creepy.
So,
yeah, this was a fun scene.
I really like this. What I was gonna say is this part where he crashes into the thing and then just sits there. Like they got him. The guy in the first truck did really good. Arnold's knocked out. He probably should have handled this a little differently. So the guy driving decided to just sit there and wait for the other truck to slowly roll up, so that they could squish him.
Right.
But Arnold woke up and jumped out right before, and then immediately killed the guy in the truck. And all I'm thinking is,
idiot.
did all this
he didn't
work.
even have to be in the truck for it to squish them. He could have gotten out to start a backup plan and just let the truck sit there.
Exactly. But he decided to just sit there and then immediately get shot. I love that.
Why wouldn't they make these trucks bulletproof also? I mean,
there's the brain.
So
I think that's... Yeah, go ahead and finish.
Yeah, what? Up. No, what were we saying?
I finished... After we end the quarry scene, before we jump to the next scene, I want to make a comment.
Make it. Yeah, we're jumping to the next scene.
So I had a thought when this was going on. At this point in the movie.
Okay.
A lot had happened.
Fun part of the movie.
A lot had happened, and things where we're at the ramp up. Arnold was having a great time.
Yeah.
Riding around in this car, just one hand, one shot, and then the guy up on the hill just shot in the chest perfectly. He is having a grand old time, reliving his FBI days, and it made me think:
is that an FBI thing to do? I feel like
I'm gonna say I don't think that's an FBI thing.
I feel like most FBI people probably sit at desks. They're not driving around in quarries shooting people from a car.
and it made me wonder: is this all happening? Did he decide to take on this mission and go do all of this because of that fight he had with his wife? Does this all go back to that? Arnold is just like, I am tired of this shit. Get me out of here. I need to kill
You want your
people.
life back? Fine. I'll do anything I need to do.
That's just, I'm like, and it just went back. It's because that bitch threw the cake. It said, what did it say on it too? Didn't it say shit on the cake? I think we forgot to talk about that. She like wrote shit.
Oh yeah.
With like icing.
That's rude.
And hence why I don't drink and bake. That's not a good combination.
It doesn't make you a good person.
I don't think she is to begin with, but words to live by. Mark heads to Petrovita's safe house, but is spotted by Petrovita and his men before entering. Mark manages to sneak in an air vent and ambush most of the men. This whole scene felt like a GTA mission, with Mark's never-ending wheel of weapons, random nameless people who pop out from behind corners and miss every shot, but still feel very cocky enough to take you on by themselves, while the boss runs away and tries to escape. Finally, in a climactic cutscene, you kill the boss in his own office. I was just like, this is so GTA.
I loved it. What you said with the you phrased it perfectly, was like all these people trying to kill you and missing every shot, but still having the confidence to take them on one-on-one.
You just watch all of them get blown away. Why are you going to do any better?
I got this. Yeah. My favorite one was the kind of bigger guy towards the end when he's like in the bar section and Arnold pops up and he's just kind of like reaching, and I'm just like, you got no chance. Arnold kills him and he falls with his arms straight up and pulls down the drinks, the glasses.
Oh my god, it's so awful. They didn't know how to do deaths back then.
But I almost like it's almost perfect.
It's hilarious. Like even in The Godfather, which is a classic, considered one of the best of all time movies. It was made in I think 1970. There's a death scene in that is so corny. The dude has been shot 50 times. And he's like stumbling around, grabbing onto stuff like, for like at least 30 seconds. It's like, good grief, that's not how that works. Like, his life left his body an hour ago, and he's still stumbling around.
That's a parody death.
But it's not supposed to be.
Exactly. Like, I did make a note for this scene. Murder.
There's a lot of murder, yeah.
We're right back to all the murder.
Yeah.
I swear these were sponsored by the NRA. Like, it's all that goes through my head when I'm watching this.
It's a lot of guns.
This is...
There's a lot of types of guns, too.
Yeah, they're showing... Look at it. Look, I just... There was such a culture of this in these... I love that we have these.
Where did he get these guns from? Did Harry provide them somehow?
Doesn't matter.
They were just in a closet somewhere. Or did he bring them from home, maybe?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
He has a lot of them.
Oh, I did think when they killed, was it Luigi? Was it that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was his name.
Luigi Petrovita.
I knew Petrovita, but I didn't realize his first name was Luigi.
Yeah.
The whole, it all felt very cinematic.
Yeah.
Just like the shot from behind, the way he fell, the hand hanging over, dripping, like eyes open. I love, like, it was like clearly set up perfectly, but like, I'm like, yeah, that's a mob boss that just got killed.
Hell yeah. Finally took him down.
That was good.
Mark comes across the slimy Marvin Baxter who betrayed him and gives him a chance to spare his life. Marvin still attempts to shoot Mark in the back, but Mark turns and blows him away. He has a soul still. We gave him a chance. Even though
same chance he got.
He knew he was going to kill him, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, true. He probably was going to kill him anyways. But
I really thought the other guy would when he first handed him the gun, I thought he was like, kill yourself.
Yeah.
Because I actually thought
dark.
When he came out and the guy was freaking out, I thought he was trying to kill himself.
Oh, yeah. I remember
the
that
way
too.
he was holding the gun, but then Maya had fallen asleep, so we had to watch that whole end scene twice. So I saw the murder miss twice. Very familiar with almost every shot that happened. I realized he was trying to find bullets in any gun.
Yeah.
It looked like I thought he was trying to kill himself before that guy came out.
I was gonna say I don't remember him trying to kill himself.
No.
Yeah. He was trying
And
to
that's why
find
Arnold
bullets.
was like, "Here's some bullets. Go for it."
Do what you want with them. And he got deaded.
Yep.
Mark meets
unalived.
Unlipped. Mark meets the woman at the airport who is just about to leave and gives her $250,000, presumably from Petrovita. She leaves, hopefully to start a better life, as alleyway cop lands at the exact same time in a helicopter, finally confirming to himself that Mark was always on their side.
Love it.
So she is good. She was
100.
just...
Well, she was kind of with them, but like it's always like one of those things where oh no.
She's trying to get out or something.
She was paying off a debt because she talked to the one guy at one point, and he was like, "Hey, if you come with me, I'll wipe your debt clean." And she was basically like, "Y'all just be indebted to you then. I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
Right. But the money was in one of the bags that they used to steal from the bank.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
He gave it to her.
So
which was Petrovita's money.
Yeah, but I'm assuming
just
she just grabbed
transferred
that. It was there, and he was like, "Here, take this." $250,000.
Well, she also she doesn't have a debt anymore either because that guy's dead. So
exactly.
So she can just keep that. Good for her. We see that Harry is still alive, but unable to walk. Mark has his job back at the FBI and is now expecting a baby. Mark forces Harry to learn to walk again so that he can help him raise his child. Harry slowly walks toward Mark, and the two hug as the movie ends in an adorable freeze frame.
Oh, it was the most 80s ending I could possibly think of.
Gave the good feels.
Right, all about the feels. After we just witnessed so many people get murdered, the old man can walk.
So much death.
Because he's going to be a godfather.
And justice was served.
Justice was served.
He's still with that lady, though. You know,
100 years of police work in an afternoon. Thank you. That would never fly today. They'd be like, you don't kill them, you arrest them. Which is the right thing to do. But I totally believe that back then they were just like, just kill them
just get rid of them. Yeah, just erase our problems.
That was just how they did things. They were just like, just kill them.
Yeah.
We don't need due process.
So
fun facts. Arnold has stated that he particularly enjoyed working with John Irvin. He called him a real actor's director, and he said that by the time he finished this movie, he felt he was a better actor.
I could see that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this movie was also intended to be called Let's Make a Deal. But maybe they didn't want it to be confused with the show.
Deal or No Deal?
No, Let's Make a Deal.
Oh.
I'm not familiar. I have a feeling.
It's a game show. It's that Wayne Brady's the host of it, I think. Now. It's a classic CBS game show.
Is it like a classic game show that they brought back, kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Have they been like doing that?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it.
So, did we like this movie?
I would go I know I always have lots of things to say, but I'd go like middle of the road with this.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, like just smack dab in the middle.
I wouldn't be like, this is great, but it also wasn't bad. Like, it was decently entertaining. It was cheesy and corny. I think Arnold did a good enough job. The one thing I will say is like that I felt when he walked in to give his like first impression to try to get hired by these guys, I was intimidated. I was impressed. I was like, I could never do that. I could never even fake being that confident to try to get these guys to hire me. And like, that was, even though it seems kind of like cheesy, the acting, I'm like, no. I felt like his confidence and like,
I buy that.
Yeah. And I thought that was really good.
I agree. This one was pretty good. There was obviously some stupid cheesy stuff, but I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. But should we get into our last movie of the day?
Yeah, and I feel like Predator would be a lot more straightforward.
Yeah.
I feel like you say that. You say that every week about one of the movies, and I feel like that's your way of saying do it quicker.
No, I literally just based on my notes.
I do have less notes.
This one is this movie, without spoiling anything, it's very like this thing happens, chunk of the movie, it's over.
Yeah.
Like Raw Deal, it's like there was so many scenes and so many ups and downs. Like this was really just
people.
Yeah, like,
100%. Yeah. And we'll talk about it. Predator from 1987, directed by John McTiernan.
Had anybody seen this?
Wait. No. Change your background, by the way, if you have one.
I had not seen this.
I hadn't either. Maya, had you? Ooh, cool.
Can you see?
Cool.
I think I've seen parts of it, but I don't think I ever finished it.
So my biggest frame of reference for this movie is the most recent game that came out. Predator Hunting Grounds. That's all I
did not get good reviews.
Which, honestly, because of that game, I knew certain things about this movie before they happened. So it sort of set it up for me a little bit, but yeah, I didn't really know anything about this movie.
So my context, the first time I ever heard about Predator was Predator vs. Alien when that movie came out in 2004, and I was like, I don't know either of these things.
Same.
Since then, I have watched. I think I've seen pretty much all the main Alien movies. Yes, I've including all the new ones.
Yeah.
But I always because Alien vs. Predator, that was my first impression. There was always these two universes, and I feel like I've seen everything on one side
and none of this one.
Nothing on the other side.
Yeah.
And my first Predator was going to be a couple years ago.
We were supposed to go see that.
We were supposed to go see that, and then it got
and I'm so glad we didn't.
Bad reviews.
That's not even why we didn't go. We just never made it. Like I was still
like
going to go.
A combination of things where I was like, if it had gotten rave reviews, I would have made an effort to go see it.
True.
But that kind of like took the steam off, and then it was gone. I was like, oh, I wanted to see that. It's gone now.
Yeah.
But like you said, I'm really glad we didn't, and we got to do this and watch this.
I'll probably get to it eventually now because I kind of want to watch the rest of them. But
for sure.
Yeah, that would have been a really bad one.
We should do a series like that, like watch all the Predator and Alien movies, or watch Predator, like do some kind of now like this series. Though I don't think there's any other sequel kind of starters that doesn't have Arnold, but
that doesn't have Arnold.
Yeah, because it's like we could do all the Terminator movies.
Terminators, but most of them have him. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. We could do a spin-off possibly.
Yeah.
So, Predator from 1987. Did I say it's directed by John McTiernan, who also directed Die Hard, Rollerball, and a movie that we're going to watch soon, Last Action Hero, which I'm excited for. I don't know anything about that, but it looks really cool. It looks like a fun movie. We open with like almost a carbon copy of Empire Strikes Back. There's a ship floating over a planet, and it like shoots this probe down onto a planet, and it just sort of like crash lands.
So I knew what was going on. Maya was very confused, and I literally couldn't say anything because
I was like, spaceship.
She's like, what? And I didn't even acknowledge it. I do want to point out we watched this movie with my grandma.
Oh, cool.
She hadn't seen it in a while. So we've watched Apocalypse Now and Predator with her, like in recent memory.
Yeah.
But because she had seen it, but it had been a while, and she remembered liking it. So
cool.
We went ahead and watched it with her.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Your grandma's cool. She likes cool movies. We start on a beach, and you've never seen so many tough, badass dudes jumping out of a helicopter.
When one of the guys jumped out of the helicopter, I immediately was like, "That's the guy from Commando."
No, which one?
What was his name? I can't think. Cook maybe was his name. I can't remember what it is now. Maybe that was his name in Commando. The
Bill
guy
Duke.
that came with the black guy that came with Arnold.
Yeah. He's he's the guy he kills in the motel, right? Or is that a different guy?
Yes, who he fights with in the motel. He's the guy who drives the car out of the dealership and kills.
Right.
He's one of the guys that
he just murders people at the beginning. Yeah.
But I really liked him, and I liked that he was on our side.
I love him in this movie.
Yeah.
He's so freaking good in this movie.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. Arnold, looking incredible with his Type 5 o'clock shadow and cigar, meets General Phillips, who fills us in on the situation. Unbeknownst to Dutch, his old friend Dylan appears, played by Carl Weathers. You son of a bitch.
You mean Grief Karga?
Grief Karga.
Because that's what I did.
And then the meme. The ultimate bro high five handshake arm wrestle muscle clinch meme that I did not know was from this.
Did not know.
I didn't know either.
And when it happened, I lost my shit.
I loved it. That was my favorite thing.
Never seen a meme come into existence while I was watching a movie and realize what was happening.
Right.
I've never had that happen.
It's like they framed it for that to happen eventually later in life. Like, why would you shoot it like that? Just from bicep on. Like, I know, but like we get it. We understand they're ripped and gigantic.
Well, they were literally competing.
Yeah.
Like right off the bat, they were competing.
True.
I didn't know this meme existed until Ethan showed it to me.
Oh, really?
I was like,
it's so good.
You'll see
That's so cool.
Yeah, you'll see it everywhere now. And it's one of the better memes, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, it was that made me so happy.
Yeah. Immediately I was 100. Well, one, seeing Carl Weathers. And it got me excited. And then to know that he and Arnold are the arms that make the meme, like on top of just seeing the meme. Like that's whose arms it is.
So perfect. Yeah, I'll love that every time I see that meme now.
And I added that Arnold looks good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looks amazing.
You mentioned that the little bit of shadow.
Yeah.
everything. I was like, he is coming in.
Dude means business. Yeah.
He definitely looks like a, military
a
guy.
military contractor kind of guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Dutch and his team have been contracted to rescue a group of hostages across the border. On the helicopter ride over, we meet Dutch's crew of characters, including the macho sexual tyrannosaurus named Blaine. The group repels into the jungle and begin their rescue mission. They find a helicopter crashed in a tree, and their tracker finds that a group of guerrilla soldiers took 2 men from the chopper, but were followed by a group of men with American boots. Yes, we meet the tracker also. He sees everything. Yeah,
love him. We attempted to watch this movie one time and stopped at this point because we were eating.
A little too gory.
We were like, we will finish this tomorrow.
Another time.
Yeah.
There's some very gruesome deaths in this movie.
Love it.
Yeah.
I loved it too.
Thankfully, it doesn't look so real.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, it looked fake.
It
looks fake enough to not make you actually throw up.
Like,
True.
if this movie came out right now, I would.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be brutal. Yeah. See, I want to watch the one from a couple years ago and see how it was. The tracker finds 3 bodies strung up and skinned. The dog tags reveal them to be Green Berets that Dutch knew, and Dylan has no idea why they were there. As the group scramble to find clues, we get our first glimpse of the Predator tracking the group with his heat-seeking vision. We don't actually see him. We kind of get his view. We know he's up there.
So confused at that point.
And I knew you were so confused.
So confused.
And I already knew what he looked like and everything.
Why is it breathing so hard?
And why is this thing seen in heat vision and night vision?
Yeah.
The tension that they start to build is done really well, I think.
No.
Sure. It ramps up at a good pace.
Yeah.
You get enough like comedy and sort of joking around between them, and then it sort of crosses over with the Predator picking them off one by one.
A lot more daylight than I was expecting. Most of the movie is set like midday, and I wasn't expecting that. I like that personally, but
I like it too. Probably is easier to see,
I'm
the
sort
of outline of the Predator. Yeah. Otherwise, you just would never know where he is. The crew finds the enemy camp, and Dutch sees one of the hostages get shot in the head. They decide to move quickly to rescue the remaining hostages. Dutch turns a running truck into a rolling bomb straight into the heart of the camp, and the rest of the crew open fire. There is so much gunfire, bullets, and explosions that I wonder how they know they aren't brutally murdering their own men as well.
Something Ethan said that I remember was, how are there so many people there? Because the shot before didn't show that many people.
No.
But people kept getting killed.
It's a war zone.
This was so long.
It's the point where they're having a conversation and there's just more shooting going on in the background. Like, guys are just like, oh, that was great. In the background, it's just like, brr, brr, brr. I'm like, who is still fighting?
Right. Sexual Tyrannosaurus, he's off just shooting anything that moves.
Yeah.
But this was a really hilarious scene, but cheesy 80s action movie.
More murder.
Oh, of course.
So much murder. Like
I was gonna say we
wrote that too. I'm sorry.
I added like 8 R's.
Murder.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of Arnold movies with no murder, but not many. Maybe
even so, like
I don't remember. I don't know.
Look, I've watched modern movies where you kill people. The number of people and the non-stop where it's just like 3 minutes of just people getting shot. Like,
yeah,
I haven't seen that in a modern movie.
No, yeah, you can trim that down nowadays. Like we understand.
Yeah, it's like, all right, okay, got that shot. Okay, kill the guy there. Okay, we got that shot. Okay, we're gonna kill him there. Okay, we got. But the one thing that I keep going back to is video. This is where video games came from. Like that's
right.
all that resonates with me is like just the nonstop. Yeah.
Right. The crew find that the mission wasn't all they were told it would be. Dylan wanted to raid this camp for its intel and high-value targets and had sent other groups ahead to do so, including the Green Berets. Dutch's crew finally get the job done. The group needs to leave quickly before a group of guerrillas ambush them. Dylan bring a woman from the camp with them as insurance. Meanwhile, the Predator still watches. I don't remember how they know that there's like more people coming in, but somehow they know that there's a whole other group coming to ambush them.
Did they get radio?
I guess. Is there someone up above watching, or?
I would have not.
Seems like they're pretty alone out here.
Like where they came from. The Americans have some kind of surveillance.
Yeah. Okay.
In the region.
I did also. It's not 100% confirmed, but the people who made the movie have said that the country that they're in is Valverde, which is the country from Commando, the fake South American country.
I love it.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That
they created.
While on the move, the tracker named Billy can sense something is wrong. Whether he can see it, smell it, hear it, he knows something is in the trees. Meanwhile, their hostage attempts to escape. One of the men catches her, but the Predator catches him. Nearly invisible, the Predator slashes him and drags him away. The crew finds the girl frozen with fear near what is left of Hawkins' body. The group searches for any sign of him while the Predator continues to hunt.
I legit was like, that's cheating. When he kills the first guy, I was just like, you're invisible, bro. Like, are you really proud of that?
Yeah, he hasn't revealed himself as the enemy yet.
Like, good job, you killed a guy. Like, I was like,
because we see later he's all about the sport of it,
And I knew that to a certain degree, and that's all. I was like, dude, you're just cheating. Like, that's not that impressive.
It's not impressive at all. But he has to start the game, I guess, right? This is how he starts the game. It's the gun starter at the beginning of a race.
I can roll with that. Now, I don't think they clarified it, but was it not targeting her because she was unarmed?
Yeah, probably.
That was what I took away from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because whether he's trying to eliminate the highest threat or just go for the toughest enemy, like you said, it's not fun to just take out an unarmed woman standing there. Like, he wants to get the person with the really dangerous weapon. So
yeah.
So he does. We have our first casualty of the group. Up next on the chopping block is old sexual Tyrannosaurus himself. Blasted by bolts of fiery lightning, I think he shot. The rest of the group see him go down, and the camouflaged predator himself, and the predator himself, and unload an absolute hellstorm into the jungle. After they hit absolutely nothing in the jungle, the girl finds a translucent green liquid on a leaf and wipes it on her pants. The crew sets up camp with plenty of defenses around them. So they finally get their first glimpse at him and just hit nothing.
Well, because it was his best friend, Duke. Duke's best friend.
Bill Duke is the actor. His name was Mac in the movie.
Okay, Mac. So Mac, he was like Mac's best friend. Man, he picked up that minigun and just went ham. And I think we were all just kind of like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, that's a lot of bullets.
But he then, because I think they then questioned him, like, "Why did you do that?" And he was like, "The minigun, the way it shoots, like nothing would have survived that.
Right.
It would have. If there was a person, they were dead." And I was like,
they don't know what they're fighting yet. Really.
That's okay. Well, it was kind of like, aren't you wasting ammo? But the reality was like, no, if those were people, that wasn't a waste.
They'd be gone. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that they said that.
He delivers that, that character, the struggle and his pain of his friend dying and his sort of paralyzed fear later on too, really well. The predator stops his camouflage, allowing us to finally see him, and we see that he has in fact been hit by the gunfire. The green liquid is his blood, and he's trying to patch himself up, clearly in a lot of pain. Mac informs the group that what he saw was inhuman. Billy, who is afraid of no man, is scared of what is out there waiting for them. And he can turn off his camouflage. He could just hit a button and Well, because at times like that gets shot, right, and like he can't be camouflaged
it's
anymore.
literally it's a mechanical thing. They pointed out with Billy, you mentioned that I like they said he has like his nose is like what sets him apart, the tracker guy.
Yeah.
I like that.
He can smell that something wrong is out there.
Yeah,
which is so crazy. In the night, while Mac takes watch, a pig sets off one of their traps. In all the commotion, the predator snuck in and stole sexual Tyrannosaurus's body. Dutch finally breaks through with the girl, Anna, and she explains to them in English what she saw and that she saw its blood, giving the group hope. Who said it? There's a line. If you can make God bleed, no one would continue to believe in him. What is that from? But that's basically what this is. Like they made it bleed, so they're like, we can take it out. What is that from? I'll get back to it. We get an Ewok setting up against the Empire on Endor type montage. While the group waits, Mac shaves for some reason, and Anna explains to Dutch that her people have been dealing with this thing for years. Why is he shaving? What's the point? You're in the middle of the jungle. No one cares what you look like. You just have it. What was he
to me it
with?
seemed more like a fidgety comfort.
Just something to do.
That he did.
You're kind of just doing it because
he's definitely fidgety because he cut himself, right?
Well, he was. I think they were so focused, and then the pressure just kept going, and it just.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Oh, that was. That made me cringe.
Yeah.
The predator sets off one of the traps and runs off. Mac and Dylan chase after, while Dutch gets everyone to an escape helicopter, presumably nearby. Mac and Dylan can see the predator and attempt to jump him. Crawling into position, the predator, with his Triforce laser sight, shoots poor Mac in the head. Dylan has one of his arms lightning cannoned off. With the other hand, he attempts to shoot the predator, but not before the predator skewers him. So he's just picking them off one by one.
This was pretty badass. Yeah. He lost his arm and still went for it. I was like,
yeah.
Okay. First, I was
give it everything you got.
No, Carl Weathers. But
especially because his character was like kind of scummy. Like he tricked them into this whole thing. But
at this point, I didn't really like it.
It was redeemed. Yeah. He was and he and Mac kind of had a little bit of tension earlier on. Like they didn't seem to like each other, but they kind of they teamed up for
when
a not very successful fight.
But no, so that's what I wanted to say. When Mac went to go look, I was like, dude, what are you? You've lost it. You're gonna go die. And then he's like, over here, and he's like calling him over.
Yeah.
And he's got a straight line of sight on him.
He can see him.
I lost my mind. I was just like, I was impressed.
I thought that guy
for the first time they kind of had a one-up.
I thought he had gone crazy, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
I was just saying, for the first time they actually kind of have a one-up on the predator. Like they can see him, but he maybe can see them, but we feel like not.
Right, you feel like not. And all I was thinking was like, dude, you gotta run on this opportunity. You wait too long, you're gonna lose. What you have right now is the best chance you have. Take a shot, do something.
Right.
And as you said, like 2 seconds later, he kills him.
Just right through the head. Meanwhile, the rest of the group hears Dylan scream out as he dies. The tracker Billy stops to face the predator one-on-one. The predator makes quick work of Billy and the next man, Poncho. So everyone is dead except for Dutch and Anna, and the predator blasts Dutch in the chest. He screams to Anna to run and get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper!
Something I did not know was from this movie. I've heard it everywhere. It's another one of those classic Arnold lines. No idea. I didn't know.
You said helicopter like 15 seconds ago?
Yeah.
But when Arnold mentioned the choppa the first time, I looked at Maya and went, oh my God, is this the movie? He's going to say it.
I thought that was it. I thought that was the line.
I knew
it. But then it came even better later.
It had to be the get to the choppa. Like that is those specific words. And then I was waiting for it. And then he said it and I was so happy.
So satisfying. Oh,
and it really was good. She was then gone.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't help him alone.
They don't help him at all.
No.
I would have done what she did, like for the first time.
Yeah.
Someone didn't come back and try to help and end up dying.
Yep.
100%. Like, yeah, if Arnold deals with him, good for him. But yeah, I'm out of here, bro. Like, thanks for the help. Luckily, the Predator seemed to only have his blaster set to stun for Dutch, because he gets right up and begins to run away. He slips, slides, and falls hundreds of feet into a river.
Oh, no. That's just how strong Arnold is.
No. The other guy was literally like...
That's what I took away.
Melted away with that like cannon, laser lightning cannon. Like,
and that's the second time he got someone with that, right? Like the first time it like went through someone's chest.
No, that was
the second time, and it like all his guts.
The thing that cut the guy's arm off, I think, was the same thing.
Yeah, it took his arm off. It blew up Mac's head, and for some reason I thought he killed him with something else when he went through the guy, the sexy Tyrannosaurus guy.
Maybe he did use something else. Maybe that's.
I thought that was showing us that Arnold's just like ridiculously more strong than everybody. That's
stupid then, because
I agree.
He's that tough against humans, but like he's still skin and bones. You know, like it's gonna go through him no matter whose skin it is.
I'm gonna look into that more, but
I wonder if it wasn't working or something.
Until then, I am believing that Arnold took that shot.
That's fine. We can go with that.
No. I just mean I'm gonna do that. You guys go with the other.
Okay, all right.
That.
So he falls into the river. He washes ashore onto a muddy bank of the river. The Predator pursuing him cannot see Dutch with his heat-seeking vision. Thankfully, Dutch, with the ultimate hunter tracker still very nearby, verbally explains to us that he cannot see him because he's covered in mud. Which is another thing that I knew from Predator hunting grounds. I knew that if you put mud on yourself, then the Predator can't see you.
Oh, I didn't know.
So I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this to come up.
Cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I liked this scene because Arnold, when he crawled and was kind of there, I'm assuming he had given up. He was waiting to die at that point.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was cool
because there's no way they even know that he has heat-seeking vision.
No, they don't know anything.
So then how would he piece together that's because of the mud? Maybe, I don't know.
I guess because it's the only he was covered in mud and he was literally
and
right
then he
there,
couldn't see him. Yeah.
I think he just put two and two together,
Yeah. As Dutch sets up new traps for the Predator rips out the spines and collects the skulls of his kills. For some reason,
that's what was happening.
In the dead of night, the Predator can't see or smell Dutch's full roaring fire. I don't know how that doesn't set off his heat-seeking vision, this fire off in the jungle, but... yeah, he doesn't know where he is. That
was right at the end, wasn't it?
I thought he did find it.
Because I was thinking about the same thing.
But
when he did a little fire.
I mean, he does come and find him later, but like he finds him. He comes to where he is, but I thought he like shoots guns to attract him over. Regardless, there's a full fire in the dead of night in this jungle. The Predator would know where that is, and he doesn't come for him. Like, before he sets everything up, he could have killed him pretty easily, but alas, no.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
With a fresh coat of mud on his skin, Dutch lets out a roar, calling the Predator to his playground. The Predator must not have a very good sense of smell, because he crawls right next to Dutch and doesn't have a clue that he's there. Dutch, equipped with explosive-tipped arrows, gets a decent hit on the Predator, damaging his cloaking mechanism. The two trade blows on each other. The Predator, now bleeding, is able to be tracked. I'm glad for this too. Now we can kind of see both of them in the final fight. He doesn't have to be all hidden and invisible. The Predator catches Dutch and examines him, possibly impressed by his competitor. He does not kill him and instead removes his cannon and his mask, revealing his absolutely hideous face. The two go mano-a-mano.
What? Oh, yeah. And we get another epic
good line. What does he say?
No, this is a famous quote. When he said I was like, it's from this movie? That's three things from this movie. One ugly motherfucker. I've definitely heard that something like.
I wish I had the strength to just say something like that in the face of pure evil. Like, I would probably die of fear at that point. But he's just like, you're hideous. They go mano-a-mano. Predator mostly beating the absolute crap out of Dutch. Dutch tries to lure Predator to his spike trap, but the Predator, seemingly too smart, catches on. Luckily, Dutch has a backup trap and smashes the Predator with a giant log suspended in the trees. Dutch, fascinated by him, cannot bring himself to kill the Predator. Predator, dying, pushes a couple buttons on his wrist and laughs maniacally. Dutch smartly runs as the Predator self-destructs in a gigantic blast. The chopper, for some reason still with Anna, on a whole day later, rescues Dutch and they fly away to safety. The end.
But
Maya made a comment about that. I was thinking that like they were looking for him. Like she got back and told them what was going on, and then they
flew back.
Yeah, they had gotten back and they were out looking for him or something like that.
That checks
was
out to me.
My brain put like without thinking about it. Like I thought of that. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally I would have been like, you like wait what? For some reason it worked for me. Because the timeline was not 100% clear.
I feel like he definitely wasn't able to outrun that massive nuclear blast, but
wait, I think he jumped behind a tree.
Oh, that would do it. Or put some mud on his skin. That probably helped as well. Trying to look for some fun.
I did
trivia,
have one
but
other
there
note.
was way too many for this movie.
These I didn't expect the movie to end like this. Like I thought that was so cool. Like the Predator had respect for Arnold, for Dutch.
Yeah.
Yes, I loved that.
And that was so cool. Like to the point where he was willing to die because he easily could have killed him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool thing where he's like, yeah, let's fight evenly. You know, I have this massive gun, you don't. Let's see if we can just punch each other to death. And
I loved that. I wasn't expecting that, and that made the Predator character better too.
Yeah, I think he's a really cool villain.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
And
was he just a hunter? Like he just did it for sport?
Yeah,
that's what it was, right?
Is that why he came to Earth?
Because I'm confused.
Just to hunt things?
Why skin and hang
trophies?
People?
They're trophies.
Yeah.
They come. She said so. This is a thing that they've done.
Oh,
they pop in.
The summers are hot.
They pop in every now and then
and
and do a little hunt. Probably just one of them.
Right.
Well, that's why there's so many movies then about this.
It jumps around a little, the story. So
yeah, the next one's not in the same place.
Huh?
The next one is not in the same location.
No.
Well,
yeah, I'd forgotten that she said that they've been dealing with this for a long time. Like, this has been a common occurrence on Earth. It's not like he's just started being here, and that's why this movie is happening. All right, well, let's rank these, or let's pit these movies against each other. So, as always, we're going to compare the Arnold characters in the two movies. We're going to compare the rest of the cast of the two movies and the stories. So, let's do Arnold last this time. I think we've started with him. We'll do Arnold last. So, let's start with the remaining cast of Raw Deal versus Predator. What do you guys?
I'll jump into this. I'm going Predator. There are some really good people in that, from Carl Weathers to Duke.
Not too many.
And not too many. Like a smaller cast of really like unique. The big pussy joke maker guy. We didn't even talk about him. He had a couple kind of funny jokes in there.
Shane Black, who is
Shane,
the writer of Iron Man 3.
Okay. That name, I'm definitely thinking of somebody else, but the name sounds super familiar.
Yeah, he's a pretty big and he directed The Predator from a couple years ago. Oh, I'm sorry, cool. He also directed Iron Man 3. So yeah, he's a somebody nowadays.
That's cool.
Yeah, his jokes were a little. Is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
The guy who kept telling the jokes, and then the tracker guy laughed at it one time.
Yeah.
I like those jokes.
Yeah,
I thought they were funny.
They were funny.
They're pretty good. I agree wholeheartedly. The Predator cast, they have.
I agree. Yeah.
Unique names that you can keep apart. Okay. Story: Raw Deal versus Predator. Maya,
what do you think?
I feel like for both of these, I was a little confused.
Okay.
And so they're neck and neck.
So
I come back to me.
How about think about it like this. In retrospect,
yeah,
knowing now the stories of each, how do you like? Which one would you want to watch again? Which one is more interesting to you in retrospect? Jordan, what do you think?
Neither.
Predator.
Yeah,
for me.
I'd go with Predator as well.
Again, simplified. There's not a whole lot to it. It's a creepy alien hunting guy hunting this, macho, badass group of guys, and almost all of them get destroyed by him. It's just cat and mouse the whole time, and it's.
I have to say the simplicity. Cool, yeah, I like the simplicity of it because not in a bad way, but like, yeah.
I do want to watch Raw Deal just because I missed that scene of the women fighting with each other.
Wait, what?
Get out of my way, bitch.
Get out.
Oh, yes.
I want to watch it.
Just go back and watch that.
For that. I'll go with Raw Deal just because, like, I have no idea. They're really neck and neck just because I have to choose one.
Perfect.
Throw a bone to
yeah,
to that
exactly.
Okay, and then we have Arnold in Raw Deal versus Arnold in Predator. So character names we have. Hold on, let me see if I can find them. Mark Kaminsky / Joseph P. Brunner versus Dutch.
I have to say, until you did the recap, I didn't know his name was Dutch. Or I forgot his name was Dutch.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. That didn't stick with me.
Okay. That also might be a game thing for me. Like, I just know they say Dutch a lot or something.
Oh, so every time you said Dutch, I was thinking of Red Dead Redemption.
Yep, that makes sense.
Who wants to go first with Arnold?
Well, Maya passed last time, so she can go first again this time if she wants.
Okay, Predator.
Yeah, Dutch is great. Although, is he?
So
he doesn't do a whole lot. He's just kind of there until the end.
I was gonna go Raw Deal because he did a lot in that movie. He did a lot of different kind of because he was both undercover and he was a sheriff and he was a husband and he was a mob guy and he was like I rather than like because the vibe I got from him in Predator was like he did nothing until one of the coolest showdowns, but not
you don't get credit for the whole movie just because you had a cool like final battle.
I will say this. Can I add to this?
Please.
I will say this just to defend the Predator decision that I made was I felt like in Raw Deal, Arnold was less believable as that character.
I agree with that as well.
Predator, I feel like the acting was much better. Even if it was like, even though he didn't have a lot of lines, I felt like the non-verbal acting was really good.
Arnold in this movie and in Terminator were the most like, he didn't seem like he was acting to me. Like I believed him as this sort of person. Again, I don't believe him as the small town sheriff, / former FBI agent / mob hitman. Like, I completely believe him as the like private contractor who has to go into the South American jungle and take out an alien. Like that makes a lot more sense to me. But the way the character is written, I like how much the Raw Deal guy has to do more than the Predator guy. So it's tough.
It is tough because I agree with that. I agree that the character had more depth in Raw Deal.
Because I even the scene where he drives the tow truck through the I love that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like, but I'm really happy you said that because I definitely felt that, but I didn't know. I wouldn't have known how to put that into words.
I think going forward into the future, though, I think I'm going to more kind of like cherish my memory of Dutch than the Raw Deal guy. So I think I'm still going to go with Dutch.
Same. Dutch.
Raw Deal.
You gotta just pick one. Like I said, that last category, I'm
going Arnold and Raw Deal. Just for that look alone.
Okay.
However, Predator still beats Raw Deal. Actually, it does.
Literally,
three categories to zero. Three categories to zero. It beats Raw Deal. So switch it back to Predator. Get Raw Deal off the screen. It's going to the loser bracket. Predator is moving on to the winners bracket.
There we go. Look at him. That haircut.
Look at that man. Just so buff, you know?
The muscle.
So buff.
He's just that prototypical 80s action
macho man
star.
Yeah.
What would we have done if we didn't have Arnold?
Yeah.
That's why I can't wait for the movie Last Action Hero. Yeah, it's going to be in a few weeks going against a movie called Beretta's Island. But that's it. We've done these 2 movies. We're moving on next week to The Running Man and Red Heat. Once again, 2 movies I know nothing about. I'm sure there's got to be guns in both of them, right?
Yeah, they sound pretty. Oh, I think my grandma said she knew Running Man.
Oh, so we can watch that one with her.
I think. Yeah, we could watch that with her.
The Running Man is streaming on Amazon.
Yes,
and
I found that.
Red Heat is streaming on you're going to have to rent that one if you want to watch along with us to join the conversation next week when we put those movies against each other. But that's going to be it for this week. We also do a podcast called the Huber Rebels Podcast that you can check out on this channel. We're also reviewing WandaVision at the moment. We did all of The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 that you can check out, as well as some other movies. So we've got tons of content here that you can watch. Follow us on Twitch. All social media stuff is Huber Rebels if you search for it. But until next time, my name is Jordan.
And my name is Maya.
And my name is Ethan. We are the Huber Rebels.
Get to the chopper.